Operator, can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show.
Good evening, friends and fellow ghouls. This is your host inviting you through the squeaking door of the Inner Sanctum for another delightful visit with creatures you'd hate to meet on land or sea, or in dark alleys. Well, friends, now that summer romance is flourishing, this young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of lovely murder. The reason for that is because I have a one-track mind. I can think of the nastiest things in the balmiest weather. When I see the first tender flower buds open their delicate petals, I immediately think how nice they look on some murderer's grave.
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, House of Doom, was written by Milton Lewis and stars Santos Ortega in the role of Mark, with Charlotte Holland as Lorraine.
All right, friends. Turn out the lights, lie down on your slab, your sofa, and get ready to scream for joy as we hear a terrifying story that could happen to anyone who's a murderer. Ready now. Hold tight and listen. People in that section of New England call the little peninsula Davy Jones's Hand, because the sharp and jagged rocks formed a murderous angry fist, thrust out into an everlastingly angry sea. There was only one house on Davy Jones's Hand. Mark Douglas lived there with his second wife, Lorraine. And folks whispered that something had happened to Mark, and that despite his wealth, he couldn't cure a mind that was gradually losing its reason.
Lorraine, look at that storm. The rain is beating down like bullets. The wind is roaring like a monster. Did you hear someone scream?
No, Mark.
Are you quite certain?
Yes, Mark.
Well, you still want to go out?
I promised Mrs. Daly I'd come. It's just down the road.
Really? And what's so important about you going?
Oh, Mark, I just want to see her. We were going to play a little bridge. Now, Mark, why don't you come with me?
No.
Why not? You've locked yourself in this house like a prisoner for months. You can't go on like this.
I don't want to go with you, and that's the end of it.
Then why do you object to my going?
I don't want to be here alone. I can't bear it when I'm alone. There. I'm positive I heard someone scream.
No.
Yes, I did. It was a woman. Woman screaming for help. Didn't you hear it?
No, Mark.
No?
Please, I want to go now.
Lorraine, I'm afraid to let you go.
Afraid? Why?
I'm afraid something might happen to you.
Well, what could possibly happen?
The same thing that happened to Betty.
Betty, your first wife.
She went out on a night like this, alone, down that rocky road. And the next morning I found her body on the beach, covered with seaweed, like some horrible thing that had been chewed and mauled and spit up by a murderous sea.
I can't stay here another minute. I've got to get out.
You'll do what I tell you.
No.
You will. Lorraine, forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Forgive you? Shall I forgive you for the months you've kept me locked up here? Waiting on you and listening to you. Lorraine, get me this. Lorraine, get me that. Lorraine, I hear screams. Lorraine, I'm afraid. And now you've been frightening me. Well, I can't bear it. I'm leaving.
Lorraine, come back. Lorraine! I'll be all right without her. Oh, just the wind. Of course.
Mark! Where are you?
I did hear it. It's Betty.
Help me, Mark!
Betty, where are you? Betty, where are you? Tell me! Did I hear it? What's happening to me? Where's the phone? I must be hearing things.
Hello?
Is that you, Richard?
Yes?
This is Mark. Mark Douglas.
Oh, how are you, Mark?
A bit under the weather.
Well, I don't blame you on a night like this.
I'm here all alone, Richard.
Where's Lorraine?
She went to Mrs. Daly's place. This may seem kind of silly to you, but would you please come over?
Now?
Yes, now, right away. As soon as you can get here.
What's wrong?
Well, nothing really, but... Richard, I can't stay here alone. Did you hear something?
What?
A woman screaming for help.
I can only hear you, Mark.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. You wouldn't hear it over the telephone.
What are you talking about?
These screams I keep hearing. It's been going on for months. I think it's Betty. Richard, you've got to come over right away. I can't be here alone. I can't.
What is it, Mark? What's wrong?
She's at the door.
Who?
The woman. Goodbye, Richard. Betty, she's come back.
Open the door.
I'm coming. I'll open the door. Betty. There she stood. Her face covered with seaweed. Her arms held out to me. She leaned forward and touched me. And then something snapped in my brain. What happened to me, Lorraine?
You fainted, Mark, that's all.
Fainted?
Yes, you must have received a bad shock of some sort.
For those screams. Betty's standing at the door.
You must have imagined it, Mark. You're not well.
Imagined it. She was standing right there.
What's the matter, Mark?
Look there on the floor.
It's seaweed.
She's come back to torment me. To talk to me, to kill me, possibly.
Mark, what are you saying? Now, look, you've got to leave this house. That's what's doing it, this horrid, hideous old house.
Lorraine, do you love me? Really?
You think I could have stayed here these last few months if I didn't love you?
Maybe. Maybe if I tell you, it'll be easier to bear. Maybe if I tell you, you might find some way out.
What will be easier to bear?
In my desk drawer, there's a flashlight. Get it.
All right, but what are you trying to tell me?
You'll know in a moment.
I have the flashlight.
Now, go to the stairs. No, there. Next to the picture.
But why?
There's something I must show you. You know, everyone believed my first wife died by accident or suicide. She was a very excitable, neurotic girl. No one, except you, Lorraine, knows that she was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes, by me. It was carefully planned. I wanted her money, and I... Lorraine, you can't betray me.
Do you think I ever would?
No. Put your hand on the post. Underneath the banister. The fourth one. That's the one. Now twist it. Go on, twist. To your right.
All right. There.
You see? It's a trap door. It's built into the floor.
But why?
Turn the flashlight down there.
Huh?
Go on, turn it into that blackness.
Why, there's water.
Yes. And you see those rocks? She fell down there when I sprung the trap. Struck her head against those rocks. When the tide changed, it washed her body out of that subterranean cabin into the sea. And then washed it up on the beach. And now you understand why I can never leave this house. Close that trap door! Close it!
How, Mark?
Twist the post to the left.
There.
Now. No.
How did you find out about this door, Mark?
I discovered it when I examined the house years ago. It was empty then. It had been empty for years.
And you chose it because of the door?
Yes. But I've gotten to hate it. I've gotten to hate every board, every window, every sound. I know I'm going to die here in the sea, and she's going to kill me. She's going to murder me for what? Lorraine, take your hand off that post. Don't! run in the trap door! Come here, Rope! Help me! The sea!
One moment.
Lorraine,
Oh, hello, Richard.
I received a phone call from Mark tonight, and Lorraine, you look so strange.
Do I, Richard?
And so beautiful.
No, nothing, Richard, not now.
Where's Mark?
Well, that's just it. I don't know. I went out to Mrs. Daly's, and then I changed my mind, and when I returned, he was gone. I'm worried, Richard. What did he tell you on the phone?
He sounded absolutely out of his mind, completely hysterical. Complained of hearing screams, in a terrible state. Lorraine, do you think that he could have...
Yes, that's what I'm worried about, those clicks.
It may not be too late. We'd better search for him.
Yes, I'll come with you.
Lorraine, I think you'd better go home.
No, Richard.
You've been up all night. Police and the Coast Guard are searching for him. I don't see how it could do any good for us to search these beaches.
Mark may be here somewhere.
Oh, we'll find him.
Hello! Hello there!
Who's that?
Why, the fisherman down the beach there. I think he's found something.
Hello! Hello there!
We're coming.
Richard, look on the rocks near him.
Yes, perhaps. Can't see it very well in this mist.
Hurry here. I found a body.
Where is it?
Here. Right there. Just over there, stumbled across him. Oh. Who's with him? A woman?
Yes. Is it my husband?
Oh, I didn't know it was you, Mrs. Douglas. Here in the mist. You'd better not look.
I will. Richard, take away the seaweed so I can see his face. Richard. If you won't, I will.
Well, friends, how'd you like to live in the House of Doom? Cozy little place to spend a short life, but a loony one, isn't it? You know, a little home like that would be our answer to the housing shortage. Just build a few of them, and you won't have any tenants to worry about. Well, friends, let's get back to our story. 2 years after the death of her husband, we find the lovely Lorraine in the house on Davy Jones's hand, staring out the window, just as her husband had done on the night he was murdered. She's married again to her husband's friend, Richard Belmont.
Are you ready, Lorraine?
Yes, Richard. Will you help me with my raincoat, please?
Of course.
Thank you. Will Kathy be there?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose they asked her. At any rate, they'll all be glad to see you. Why, this will be the first time you've stepped out of the house in months.
I can't help it if I've been ill.
Lorraine, there's no reason to get angry.
I'm sorry. It's just that I don't care to go out in a storm like that.
Just a short trip down the road.
I know it.
What's a little rain? You're in very good health now.
Please don't talk about it.
You ready?
Yes, I'm quite ready, thank you.
Let's go.
No, I can't go.
Lorraine,
Richard, please close that door and come in here.
what's the matter with you?
Nothing. I just don't want to leave here tonight, that's all.
I was afraid of this.
Were you?
Something weird. Something queer about the way you cling to this house. Though it held you trapped. Mark was that way before he died, too.
Please don't talk about Mark.
Why not? What are you afraid of?
Nothing.
Nothing except to leave this house. Nothing except that you jump at every sound. Do you think I don't notice things? Do you think I'm a fool?
Where are you going?
Out. If you won't come with me, I'll go alone. I can't stand this place another moment.
No.
I've been locked up in here for days. I feel like a trapped animal.
Oh, wait a minute, Richard. Don't go.
Why not?
Because I'm asking you not to. Richard, please stay with me. I don't want to be in this house alone. Please stay. I hear things when I'm in this house alone. Richard, don't leave me. Your life may depend on it. Please, Richard, don't go.
Goodbye.
Richard! Hello. Is that you, Kathy?
Yes?
This is Lorraine Belmont.
Oh, hello there.
Kathy, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, just listening to some records? Why?
Well, I'm here all alone.
Well, where's Richard?
He went out. Kathy, I want you to come right over.
On a night like this?
Take the car. Come right away.
What's wrong?
There's something I want to talk to you about.
Oh, but really, Lorraine, can't it wait?
No.
But, Lorraine...
Are you refusing to come here because you expect a visit from Richard?
Really? What are you talking about?
I think you know quite well.
Lorraine, what is it? What's wrong?
Kathy, did you hear that?
What?
That voice calling my name, it sounded like Mark.
What? But Mark's dead.
I'm well aware of that. That's why it couldn't be Mark, could it?
What are you saying?
Lorraine! Help! Help! Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
There's someone at the door. Will you hold on a minute, please?
Lorraine!
Hello, Kathy?
Lorraine, you sound so strange. Who was at the door?
No one was at the door. No one.
No one?
When I got there, all I found was some seaweed. Goodbye, Kathy.
Hello, Lorraine.
Richard.
I decided to come back. I couldn't leave you alone. I'm sorry.
Quite all right.
What do you have there?
Look at it.
Seaweed. Well, where did it come from?
I found it outside the door.
That's odd.
Yes. And what's odder is that someone knocked at the door and left the seaweed.
Now, Lorraine, you haven't been having those hallucinations
But
again.
they're not hallucinations, Richard. I heard someone call my name.
Now, Lorraine.
Please, Richard, don't come near me. Stand over there, just where you are.
Very well. But, why are you standing there, holding the post?
You shall know presently. Do you think you deceived me, Richard?
What are you talking about?
About Kathy? You're in love with her.
That's nonsense.
You would like to have my money and Kathy, wouldn't you, Richard? That's why you've been playing these tricks on me.
What trick?
Calling my name, leaving the seaweed out there.
Why should I want to do that?
To make me confess
Confess what?
that I murdered Mark.
You murdered Mark.
Yes. How did you first find out, Richard? Did you hear me call out in my sleep as I heard Mark do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's how I learned that Mark murdered his first wife. It's very difficult to keep a murder a secret. The strange satisfaction in being able to confess it.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because you wanted to know. That's why you played these horrid little tricks on me.
What makes you think I played tricks, Lorraine?
Because I played, yes. Even to using the seaweed.
How could you have murdered Mark?
I was waiting for you to ask me.
He was a powerful man. You couldn't have pushed him off those cliffs.
No, I couldn't have.
And you were never out there with him.
No.
And everyone knew he was mentally ill. Everyone suspected suicide.
Yes, and how very convenient.
How could you have killed him?
I'll show you, Richard. Since you're so anxious to know. Don't move. Richard, why did you leap away?
I see it now. The rocks and the sea down there. You would have killed me if I hadn't leaped away in time. Come here, Lorraine.
No. Oh, Richard, let go of me.
There must be a subterranean passage down there, and the body gets washed out to sea. That's why you never left this house. You were afraid someone would discover your secret.
Richard, what are you going to do?
What do you expect?
No.
And why shouldn't I? You did it to Mark for his money. If it'll be any satisfaction to you, Lorraine, that's exactly why I'm holding you here now, for precisely the same reason, your money. And since you take so much pride in being right, Lorraine, I'll tell you one more thing. You were quite right about Kathy and myself.
Don't do it. Let me go.
One moment. Kathy.
Lorraine said you weren't home.
Did she?
She called up frantically on the phone. I swear she sounded half insane. Where is she?
Why, she isn't here, Kathy. I came back from the dailies. In fact, I never got there. When I returned a moment ago, she was gone.
Richard, do you think...
I don't know. A woman in her mental condition is very apt to destroy herself.
Destroy herself? Then you'll be free, and you and
We
I...
mustn't think of that now, Kathy. She may still be out there somewhere. We've got to try to save her. If we can. Come on, let's look for her. Kathy, you can't leave this house tonight, not in a storm like this.
And why not, Richard?
It was on a night like this that Lorraine was killed 3 years ago. I'm afraid to let you go out. You're my wife, and I love you, and you mustn't leave me alone.
I can't stand this house another moment. Locked up with you here night and day for months.
I can't leave, Kathy. You must stay. I can't bear it here alone.
I'm going.
Where? To see some man? Is that what you're going?
Some man. That must be another of your hallucinations. I'm just going down the road. I've got to see some human being who's in his right mind, or I'll go out of my mind myself.
Kathy, don't leave it. Did you hear it then?
Hear what, Richard?
That voice. A woman's voice. Calling for help.
No, Richard, I didn't hear a thing.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Kathy, don't go. Stay with me.
No. I can't stay here another minute in this place. If you invented the torture, the evil, and the doomed, it couldn't be worse.
No.
I hate every board, every door, every piece of it. I can't stand another instant. Goodbye, Richard.
Kathy! Kathy! I wonder, does she know? Have I been talking in my sleep? Maybe I should tell her. I'm sure I could trust her. Lorraine! It's Lorraine! Come back! She was right. This house is for the evil and the doomed.
Well, Frank, if you think Richard and Kathy aren't going to go down that trap door, then you just don't have any imagination. Or you just haven't heard enough Inner Sanctum mysteries. Of course, we have a very uplifting moral for these gruesome shenanigans. It's taken from the haunted words of Poltergeist, who said, "Always live in a house that's haunted by ghosts, vampires, werewolves, zombies, and spooks. You'll never have a dull night."
Inner Sanctum was heard in the United States over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, and has been rebroadcast for servicemen and women overseas through the facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. This week, guest quacking on the Bah Ghoulie Show, Waddle the Duck. And here's Waddle. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Grab a Coke, cup or bottle. Don't forget to Watchwaddle.
The Bah Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, transcribed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are searching frantically through the dark, empty rooms of an apartment, panic gripping your heart, terror at your heels. For the girl you love, who was with you a moment before, has disappeared, vanished, as if into thin air.
Today we escape from reality with a gripping tale of a girl who vanished and the man who had to find her to save his life, as Cornell Woolrich told it in his great story, Finger of Doom.
Nothing unusual ever happens to you, huh? In your comfortable American city, nothing ever could it? Let me tell you something. Right on the common, everyday streets of a big city, I had the strangest, most fantastic adventure anyone could dream up. And I've had my fill of adventure for the rest of my life. This happened several years ago before the war on an ordinary evening in early spring. Well, not so ordinary, because I had a couple of free tickets to a good show and I was picking Steffi up at her office for dinner. See, we were going to be married in less than 2 weeks. So naturally, I was impatient as I waited there on the sidewalk in front of her office building. And, of course, she was late, last one to leave as usual. I felt like a picket pacing up and down in front of the door, but finally there she was, spun gold piled on her head, blue eyes shining, and carrying...
Hi, darling.
What's that?
Have I kept you waiting long? I tried to hurry all I could. With this? Just a package. I promised his nibs I'd deliver it on the way home.
But you're not going home. We're eating out and going to a show.
But it's right on the way. I have to leave it at a flat in Martine Street. It won't take a minute.
Why can't he get somebody else to run his errands for him? We're late now. This'll cut our eating time down.
Woof, woof, Grumpy.
Oh,
So this is what the 13th does to you.
13th?
You mean you've forgotten? You mean you aren't counting the days?
Oh, sure. 13 days left.
13 and a half. Don't forget that half of it's to be a noon wedding. I don't like the 13 all by itself. I'll be glad when it's tomorrow when only 12 left.
You know something? You're cute. The more I know you, the cuter you get.
I bet you won't say that a year from now. I bet you'll be calling me your old lady then.
Will you mind?
Well, not right at first, maybe.
Okay, come on, let's make like delivery boys. Oh, what's the address?
Mr. Miller, 415 Martine Street, apartment 4F.
We're on our way. Sure is a frowsy neighborhood.
Everybody can't be rich, you know. 411, 413. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Some clients your boss must have. I'll be glad when you aren't working for him anymore. Oh, did you give him your notice?
Yesterday. He gave me the funniest look. Good thing he doesn't know you. He'd eat you alive.
Hey, wait.
Huh?
Here it is.
Oh, I was sailing right by. See how you affect me?
Mm-hmm. Okay, give it to the hall man or the janitor or somebody, and let's get going.
Oh, no, I've got to take it up personally and get a receipt. Besides, there doesn't seem to be anybody here. Oh, it's one of those push-button doors. What did I say the name was again?
Muller or something, wasn't it?
What would I do without you? 4A, 4B, 4C. Oh, here it is, 4F. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find it. The name card's fallen out. Oh, this must be the button. You wait down here for me. I won't be a minute.
A minute's too long.
Well, this'll hold you until I get back. Oh, the door. Only a minute now. Bye.
Bye. For a minute, I watched her through the glass. She got into the little self-service elevator and closed the door. Then all I could see was the gleam from the elevator in use light. Then she was gone. I lit a cigarette and waited. How long does it take to smoke a cigarette? 5 minutes? 10? Anyway, I finished it. Nothing happened. I stood around fidgeting, shifting from one foot to the other, and from one shoulder leaning against the wall to the other. A woman came by with a squalling kid, gave me a haughty look, and went on in. I tried to figure out what could be taking so long. Maybe they didn't have a pencil to sign the receipt. Maybe they had to find one. I lit another cigarette, took a couple of puffs, but now my patience was gone. What is this? I rattled the door first, and then I pushed the button for apartment 4F. I still didn't plan to go up. I just wanted to let her know that I was still alive. But I got no answering buzz. I kept ringing it, holding my thumb down till it was white. Still no answer. Suddenly, I wasn't angry anymore. Suddenly, I was scared. I did the instinctive thing. I ran out into the street again and looked up at the face of the building, searching the windows, but of course there was nothing to see. And that move cost me a chance to get in. While I was out on the sidewalk, a seedy-looking character came out of the door, letting it click shut before I could get back in. I tried the buzzer again. Couldn't be out of order. They'd answered it when Steffi pushed it. But now, nothing. Dead to the world up there. By now it was 20 minutes. 20 minutes since she left me. Now I was frightened. I knew I had to get up there. I pushed another button, anyone at random. The door was released and I was in. Four F was at the back of the building. I stood out in the dark hallway and listened. There wasn't a sound. At first, this was a relief. At least she wasn't in any difficulty, or she'd be screaming. But then, when I began to knock and kick the door, practically break it down, and still nobody made a sound, I began to get panicky. Heads poked out of doors all along the hall.
Hey, cut out the racket!
Where will I find the janitor?
basement, I suppose.
I raced down to the basement, found the janitor eating his supper. I barged right in.
You looking for something?
Come up with me, quick. Will you bring your passkey? I want to open one of the flats.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
I don't like the looks of it. My girl took a package up. I've been waiting for her for over 20 minutes, and she never came down again. Now they won't answer the bell. Come on, please, hurry.
Oh, which apartment is it?
On the 4th floor. Come on, I'll show you.
What number?
4F, but...
Wait a minute. Couldn't be 4F, not that one.
Why not?
Because there's nobody living there. Why, that apartment's been vacant for 6 months.
He took me up and showed me he was right. It was an empty flat. I went through its rooms calling Steffi's name, but she wasn't there. There was nobody there. Looked like there hadn't been anybody there for months. The dust was thick on the bare floor, on the sills of the locked windows.
See, mister, she couldn't have come in here.
But I saw her. I saw her ring the bell and go in the door.
In this door?
The downstairs door.
Oh, well, she could have gone to any apartment then.
But she was coming here. She rang this bell and somebody answered.
Nobody could have answered. Nobody's been here. She must have rung another bell.
Is there somebody in this apartment named Muller?
No, we never had anybody by that name. Not in the whole 12 years I've been here.
Somebody must have gotten in and was waiting for her.
Will you tell me how they could? It was locked. You saw me open it with me pass key, didn't you?
Listen, we're going to ask all the tenants on this floor. Maybe they heard something.
Now, wait a minute. I don't like to disturb them. Maybe this girl just walked out on you. Maybe it had a quarrel.
No, there was nothing like that. I know she wouldn't just walk out. Besides, how could she? Is there a back way?
Yes, but only through the basement. She would have had to pass right by me.
And you didn't see her, and I was waiting downstairs at the front door, and she didn't come out that way. Then obviously she's still in here.
Well, maybe. Or maybe...
What?
Are you sure she ever come in?
Of course. You mean, am I sure there ever was a girl?
Well, now, don't get excited, mister. All right, we'll look, we'll ask. Take it easy, take it easy.
Okay.
Hear anything in 4F? How could I? The place is empty.
I know, but didn't you hear something? Anything?
No. Yeah, the buzzer was going like crazy, like somebody was leaning on the button downstairs. But that
was
could have been
me.
anybody. Yeah. Then a little later, this guy banging on the door. He asked me where to find you.
Never mind.
Thank you. Sorry to have disturbed you.
Okay.
Well, that's all of them. No trace at all. Maybe now you'll let me get back to my supper. There's nothing more we can do. Maybe if you go where she lives or works, you might find her.
Wait here. I'm going to call the police. First, I got a patrolman from the corner. He asked a lot of questions and then called his station. A few minutes later, a detective was dropped off, a fellow by the name of Gilman. I must admit he was thorough. He checked on every apartment in the building. The only thing he learned was about the false ring which let me in. But there was only one, not two. And that meant that whoever buzzed for Steffi was expecting her. Gilman checked apartment 4F thoroughly, the windows with their undisturbed layer of dust, the door, the keyhole, everything. And then he said...
There's nothing to show that she or anyone else ever came in here, Bud.
Look, don't do this to me. You make it sound like she didn't come here with me at all.
Well, that's what it does sound like.
But don't you see... Look, I was going to take her to a show. Here are the tickets.
Don't mean a thing. We're going to build this from the ground up and see what we've got. You say her name is Stephanie Riska. Address?
120 Farragut.
What's she look like?
She's blonde, and she came up to about here. I mean...
Okay. Don't let it get you.
I'm not scared because she's gone. It's because she's gone in such a fairy tale way. She just disappeared into thin air.
All right, let's get about finding her then. You met her at 6:15 outside the Bailey Goodwin building with a package to be delivered here. Who'd she work for?
A press clipping service called the Green Star. It's a one-man organization operated by a man named Hessen. One dinky little room on the ground floor of the building.
What do they do?
I don't know much about it. They have a list of clients, and they go through the paper and clip out any story which mentions one of the clients. They get about a nickel a clipping.
How is there any money in that?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going up there. We'll find out.
The night watchman led us into the office after Gilman showed him his badge. It was a tiny room with only a desk, a telephone, and another table and a filing cabinet. Except for a lone can of Canadian Ace brew, all of them were bare as bones.
This is no office. This is a telephone booth.
Not a big business, I guess.
This is their list of clients. They can't be making very much money at those prices.
Steffi got paid every week.
There's nobody named Muller in the file.
What do you think?
I don't see anything here to indicate he even has a secretary.
You could ask the night watchman.
I already have. He's never seen her.
Well, but that doesn't mean anything. He works at night and she works in the daytime.
Okay, I only said he's never seen her. Doesn't know anything about her.
Hessen, her boss. You can ask him.
We're going there next, and I guess you'll have a chance. Wait a minute. Here's something.
What?
What kind of gum does your girl chew?
She doesn't. Likes Lifesavers, hates gum.
Well, whoever sits at this table chews gum. Lots of it. It's all over the bottom. Tutti frutti.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Maybe somebody came in, put it there. Maybe it's old. Maybe Hessen.
Okay, let's go. We'll see what he has to say.
Hessen lived in a swanky bungalow-type home in the suburbs. As Gilman and I left the police car and walked up the drive to the house, I got the strangest feeling of unreality. Like this was all a horrible nightmare. Couldn't be happening. My knees were sagging, but then Gilman was knocking on the door, and it was answered by an ugly, foreign-looking character who went away and returned to usher us into Hessen's presence. I'd seen him a time or two, but he didn't know me, so he gave no sign of recognition.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Mr. Hessen, I'm Sergeant Gilman, police force.
Oh, yes, I'm pleased to know you.
I won't take up much of your time, but I need a little help.
Gladly, if it is within my power.
Did you ever see this young fellow before?
No. What has he done?
I'm not sure yet. Do you know anyone named Muller at 415 Martine Street?
Muller? No, I don't know anyone by that name. I think we have a Miller, a Mrs. Elsie Miller, on our list, who all the time divorces and remarries. Will that do? She owes us $29.
Then you didn't send a package over to Muller, apartment 4F, 415 Martine Street at 6:15 this evening?
No.
Why, you...
Hold it. You keep quiet.
I'm sure I didn't, Sergeant. But wait, it's easy enough to confirm it. Oh, Miss Riska.
Yes?
Stephanie, will you please come in a moment?
What?
Steady.
My assistant happens to be right here at the house tonight. I had some dictation to give her, and she's transcribing it. We usually mail out clippings. Only when there's some urgent request do I send them by personal messenger.
Yes, sir?
Suddenly the room was spinning in front of my eyes. I was looking at it, trying to see it, but lights kept streaking across the room like comets. And their voices came to me through a thick fog.
Stephanie, did we send a package to 415 Martine Street this evening to a Mr. Muller?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
I see. And tell me, did you ever see this young man before? Do you know him?
Why, no, I don't believe I do.
Wait, this isn't Stephanie. He's calling somebody else by her name. This isn't Stephanie. I tell you that...
My dear sir, this is the only young lady I have working for me.
In just a moment, we will return to Escape. But first, Mr. and Mrs. X thought they were pretty smart, smarter than the Narcotics Bureau and the Bureau of Customs combined, but they overlooked a casual passenger aboard the luxury liner. For a fascinating true-life tale of crime and smuggling on the high seas, hear Gangbusters tonight. And along with it, CBS's other great Saturday night thrill-a-minute show, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Both of these programs are regular Saturday night features on most of these same CBS network stations. Gangbusters recreates famous crimes and their solutions by national, state, and local agencies. The Adventures of Philip Marlowe are based on the character of the famous Private Eye, created by Raymond Chandler, the noted mystery story writer. And now, with our stars, Harry Bartell as Kenny, and with Ed Begley as Gilman, we return to the second act of Escape and Finger of Doom.
Hessen stood there and blandly said it. This strange girl was my fiancée, was Stephanie Riska. He stood there looking surprised and hurt, and she stared at me with a just right, puzzled expression on her face. Gilman was holding me with a sort of a half Nelson and gritting at me.
Stop it.
But I tell you, this isn't Steffi. Steffi is blonde. This girl is brunette. Steffi's short, comes up to here. This one's tall. I tell you...
Shut up. You're asking for trouble. Now, calm down.
Sergeant, I don't believe I understand.
I'm just beginning to myself. Miss, how long have you been working for Mr. Hessen?
Why, since October of last year. About 6 months.
And your name is Stephanie Riska?
Why, yes, of course.
She's lying, I tell you.
Shut up. I don't mean to doubt your word, miss, but just for the record, I suppose you could show me some proof of your identity?
Why, yes, right here in my bag. My driver's license.
Oh, wait, the bag has initials. Oh, yeah, S.R.
Of course, S.R.
And the driver's license.
Steffi doesn't drive. She has no car.
But I do. It isn't a very good one,
Anything else?
Well, this letter, addressed to me.
Address 120 Farragut. May I look?
Why, yes, of course.
Uh-huh. It's genuine, all right. Here you are, and...
I don't know what else I have here, but... Oh.
I'll get it. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
I see you carry chewing gum in your purse.
Why, yes.
Tutti frutti. Not many people like that flavor.
Oh, I never chew any other.
Well, thanks. Sorry to have bothered you both. Come on, chum.
I hope we've been able to help, Sergeant.
A lot, thanks. Good night.
Good night, Sergeant.
Okay, what's your racket, kid? Are you a pushover for the mental ward? Or are you working off a grudge against this guy? Or did you do something to some little blonde, blue-eyed number and you're trying to set up an alibi even before we find out about it?
Things like this don't happen. They can't. 1 minute she's here and then she's gone. No one will believe me.
Why should we? You haven't produced a single person all night who actually saw this blonde of yours.
Where'd I get her name and address, then?
That's one thing I'm not sure of. So I'll give you one more spin for your money. You stand or fall by the place she lived. 120 Farragut Street. Come on, let's go. Okay, this is it. Come on. What is it, a rooming house?
Yeah. She lived alone, just a room. She only came here from Harrisburg 6 months ago. But the landlady...
Now, what's the matter?
I just remembered. Hessen recommended this place to her.
Now, look. You want to go in or you want to go to headquarters? The tougher you get with me, the tougher I'll be on you.
Listen, you gotta listen. I was only up there once, but I remember it. Sticking in the mirror of the dresser is a litho of the Holy Mother. On the radiator's a rag doll I won for her at Coney Island and a Hickok wallet I gave her last Christmas. And on a shelf against the wall is a gas ring, and from the light fixture to the gas jet is a string where she hangs stockings to dry. Will you remember those things? The bedspread's green, and there's a green and yellow upholstered chair. Don't you see? I couldn't make these things up. She must be real.
You almost convinced me. Come on. Now, when we get inside, you keep your mouth shut. One peep and I'll split your lip.
Yes?
You got a girl named Stephanie Riska living here?
Yep. 4th floor front.
How long's she been here?
Riska? 6 months.
What does she look like?
Dark hair, dark skin. About as tall as this young fella. Talks kind of husky. Why?
Police. I want to see her room.
Sure. Come right in.
Gilman practically had to support me all the way up. My knees just weren't functioning. But that was nothing to the shock I got when the landlady opened Steffi's door. The room was all different. Not one thing was the same as I had told Gilman. He didn't even look at me.
Has she always had it fixed up this way?
Always, since the first week she moved in.
Does she drive a car?
Yeah, a little old coupe. She's a real clean roomer. Only one thing I got to complain about. Oh, there it is again, under the washstand.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Chewing gum. Yeah, let me see it. Uh-huh. Tutti frutti.
You better watch your friend. He looks like he's going to faint.
Let him fold up. That isn't anything to the falls he'll be taking in a few minutes.
What did he do? Murderer?
Not her, but I got a good hunch he murdered somebody, and he picked the wrong name out of the hat.
He don't look like... Ow!
I hit him and ran. I knew I had to. He was going to take me to the police station. Then I wouldn't have any chance to find Steffi. Not for a long time. Maybe too long a time. And I had to find her. I went back to the Martine Street flat. It was the only place to go. Back to where she disappeared. Start from there. I knew Gilman would catch up with me sooner or later, but I might be able to turn up something first. I told the janitor the cops had sent me back to take another look at the apartment and got him to give me the passkey. He fell for it. I went up to the apartment alone. But once there, I couldn't find a thing. I wandered through the empty rooms, calling her name helplessly. I tapped the walls, scraped the plaster, tested the windows. I'd been there about 10 minutes when I heard a little sound out in the hall, like somebody coming up the stairs very quietly. I slipped out the door and stood at the top of the stairs. It was the janitor, with Gilman and 2 cops. They were coming up the stairs. There was only one way for me to go, up, so up I went. And then they saw me.
Hey, you, come down here.
One flight up, I came to the top of the stairs. A sort of skylight window opened onto the roof. It was standing loose, partly open. I ran out across the roof, tried to hurdle the low wall to the next roof. I missed, fell.
All right, don't move. I got you, you lily-livered louse. And when I get you down to hell...
All right. I'll go quietly. It's no use now.
Well, I'll be...
What's the matter?
Calhoun, throw your light over here.
What? What? It's a package.
Yeah, package lying here on the roof. Addressed to Muller, apartment 4F.
That's it. Don't you see? That's what she brought.
Holy smoke. Okay, kid. Somebody did bring a package here tonight. I'll give you that. And when I give you that, I guess I give you all of it. She's a blonde, never chews gum, doesn't drive, all of it. Somebody must have jumped her, brought her up this way across the roofs and down through some other house. They dropped the package on the way. Maybe didn't have time to come back and pick it up.
What'll we do?
Calhoun.
Yeah.
Call in. Have a radio car keep Hessen's house on Myrtle Drive spotted until we get there. I want to stop off at that office again first.
Right, Sarge.
Do you think...
No, kid, not yet. They would have done it right here in the empty flat and let you take the rap. Come on, buck up. We got work to do.
At Hessen's office, we found 2 things.
These files are funny. About every third name is a foreign one with a foreign mailing address. Why would those people want local press clippings?
What do you mean?
I mean, this looks like a job for the FBI, spy stuff. Maybe your girl had found something out, and that's why they figured she was too dangerous. Did she ever say anything?
No, but she told them she was quitting next week to get married.
So she didn't suspect anything, but they thought she did. Same thing. Come on, we'll stop off at that rooming house. I want that landlady picked up. Obviously, she's one of them. Changed the room all around, stuck the gum into the washstand, everything.
Hey, wait. Look, on the floor next to the baseboard.
Yeah, gilt hairpin. So she was blonde. Okay, let's go.
At the rooming house, with the landlady turned over to a cop downstairs, Gilman went over the room once more. Fished into the wash basin drain and came out with a couple of blonde hairs.
Now, why didn't I think of that the first time? Girl shampoos her hair once in a while.
Then we were on our way to Hessen's house on Myrtle Drive. All the way I was praying. When we arrived, it was dark, deserted. Even the police car Gilman had ordered wasn't there. We went in, shooting the lock off the door. We searched the ground floor, then upstairs. In an attic room, we found a shortwave radio. But not Steffi. Just as we got back downstairs, Calhoun came in with a report from the radio car.
They trailed him to Pier 07, North River. The 3 of them got on a tramp steamer that sailed immediately.
And they're gone. It's too late.
They won't get out of the harbor. We'll have them picked off at quarantine. 3 of them, you say, Calhoun? A blonde girl?
No, they said 2 men and a dark girl.
Then where's Steffi?
Still here, probably.
But where?
We'll soon... Wait. Do you smell something? Smoke?
Yeah. And gasoline.
The basement. Come on, hurry.
Smoke? The basement's filled with smoke.
Here, over this way.
Steffi! Steffi!
Hurry, this place will be a mass of flames in a minute.
I can't see. Steffi!
Here, give me a hand. Here she is. Hurry.
Oh, Steffi. Is she...
No, she's breathing. Hurry, let's get her out of here fast.
In the next few minutes, there was a lot of excitement around there. While the fire companies fought the fire, we cut the ropes off Steffi and revived her. She was all right, and I sat there in the police car with my arms around her as if I'd never let her go again. And that's just how I felt, too. Then a radio report came in.
Well, they got them off the ship at quarantine. They'll be turned over to the FBI eventually, but first... Well, they better hadn't let me get my hands on them. You know, kid, she is pretty.
Gee, thanks for everything.
It's okay. Well, I gotta go and... Oh, say, I've got something I want to return to you.
Yeah, what?
This.
I went out like a light when he hit me. And a few minutes later,
Kenny.
when I came to, Steffi was holding me in her arms,
Kenny.
stroking my head and smiling.
Kenny, he said to tell you no hard feelings. But when anyone socks Dick Gilman over the head, he gets socked back, even if they're the best of friends.
Steffi, you know something?
What, darling?
You're cute with stars in your hair.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have presented transcribed Finger of Doom by Cornell Woolrich, adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Starred as Kenny was Harry Bartell, with Ed Begley as Gilman. Featured in the cast were Joy Terry, Edgar Barrier, Louise Arthur, Peter Prouse, and Kay Miller. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You are clinging to a narrow window ledge, your strength running out. While before your eyes, seen through the window, the most beautiful girl in the world is about to die. Because of you.
Next week, we escape with an unusual story, The Adaptive Ultimate by John Jessel. Be sure to tune in again at this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. You can escape again tomorrow night when CBS's famous dramatic series presents screen star Edmund O'Brien in another special Sunday night escape broadcast at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mr. O'Brien will star as an explorer who becomes a prisoner in a beautiful and strange country populated by blind men. Be sure to hear tomorrow night's Escape, starring Edmund O'Brien in H.G. Wells' famous story, Country of the Blind, on most of these same CBS network stations. Now, stay tuned for 5 minutes of the latest news, to be followed by Let's Pretend, over most of these same stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show, and don't forget to check out Channel Watchwaddle for some fun cartoons. Enjoy some jokes with a big box of popcorn.
Corny corn popcorn fun for all folks, about as corny as Waddle's jokes.
I demand that time cease. The past will return and the stories of yesterday unfold. Listen to the weird circle.
Out of the past, phantoms of a world gone by, speak again the immortal tale, the Niche of Doom.
Will it never stop? This constant tapping inside my mind. Yes, I've listened to that same hopeless tapping for days on end. I thought it would stop when I came to this rest home. Here in my room, my husband sits on the edge of my bed, watching me, knowing my thoughts, feeding me horror, tearing at the fabric of my mind as a spider tears the wings off its prey. My husband, Auguste Marais. My husband, my torturer, my captor, my murderer. A woman has a right to live, to laugh, to smile and be happy, a right to love and be loved. And I was lonely. I remember the day I was in the patio attending to my tulip bulbs, talking to my maid Rosalie as I spaded the earth.
Oh, Madame, the garden looks just beautiful.
Yes, it does. I love this garden, Rosalie. It's the one thing in this entire dreary house I can call my own.
If the tulip bulbs work as nicely as they did last year, perhaps Monsieur Marais will allow you to enter them in the garden contest.
I've meant to ask him.
Good day, Josephine. How are you feeling today?
Well, I feel fine, August. I didn't expect you so early.
You may go, Rosalie.
Yes, sir. Anything I can do for you, Madame?
No, nothing, my dear.
Yes, Madame.
You're looking very well, Josephine. Very well.
August.
You've something on your mind? What is it?
August, I was wondering if you'd mind frightfully if I entered my tulip bulbs in the annual country exhibition.
Mind? Naturally, I mind. You know very well I don't like you making an exhibition of my name in public.
August, just entering the tulip...
I will not discuss it.
But it's so lonely here all the time.
Lonely? Nonsense. You've the maid for company?
Yes, I've Rosalie.
And I manage to spend one evening a week with you?
Yes, I know you do.
My dear, you should be very grateful that you have the position in life which marrying me has given you.
I have everything but happiness, August.
Happiness is relative. A girl born in the circumstances in which you were born, a poor, unimportant family, certainly cannot expect everything.
But I ask so little, August, just to exhibit the bulbs and the flowers.
I thought we were not going to discuss this anymore. You know very well the doctor told me at my age I'm not to allow myself to become excited.
Yes, I remember what the doctor said.
I'm glad. Please remember it. And now, my dear, I really must go over to court.
Will you be home this evening, August?
I'm never home on Tuesdays, Josephine. Enjoy yourself, my dear. Don't wear yourself out in the patio. You country girls are always lovely while you're young, but you age so quickly.
Age so quickly. He frightened me. I saw all the years of my youth passing me by as I was caged up in the house on the Rue Montmartre. I was only 15 when I married August. 15, and he was 55 then. 5 years of marriage had taught me the meaning of loneliness and tears. A woman has the right to bask in the warmth of her youth. That's why I left the house that day. I wandered out into the garden patio outside my room, and I walked down the boulevard to Grinnell's Cafe. I sat down at a table on the sidewalk, intending only to watch the others, to watch life pass by. The waiter was very friendly.
What will you have, madame?
An ice, a raspberry ice?
Raspberry ice. Excellent, madame. Excellent for a warm afternoon.
How angry this would make August.
Sitting all alone, madame?
Yes, Well, because I wish to be alone.
Oh, no, you don't. Not when you have the opportunity to enjoy my company.
Please, sir, I shall call the waiter.
No, don't, please. You're lonely and I'm lonely. Certainly there can be no harm in two lonely people sharing a table for one short half hour. Now, can there?
But my husband...
Even a jealous husband can't object.
Really, sir?
And you are lonely. You really want me to sit down. You just won't admit it. Oh, I can see the truth in your face.
You see things that are not there.
May I, madame? Just for one half hour.
Well, there really is no harm in it, is there?
None at all. Thank you. Of course, madame, you know that I've lied to you.
Lied to me?
Your ice, madame. Something for you, monsieur?
Oh, same as the lady.
Oui, monsieur.
Nothing like raspberry ice to start a lifelong friendship.
What do you mean you've lied to me?
Well, I didn't just happen along just now. I didn't just happen to see you sitting here and come up. I planned everything very carefully in advance.
Oh?
You see, madame, I live across the way from you. I've watched you gardening in the patio of your home many times.
But why, monsieur?
Why? Why, because you're a beautiful woman. Because I wanted to know you so very much. Because I've seen something in your eyes that I've felt inside myself.
You shouldn't, monsieur. You really shouldn't say these things to me.
My name's Pierre Planton.
Monsieur, for both our sakes, do leave me now. You've no idea how much trouble this innocent little adventure might cause us later on.
Oh, I've waited a long time to meet you, dear lady. Not just a day or a week or weeks, but a year.
I'm very flattered, Monsieur Planton.
Pierre's the name.
Pierre?
You know, the first day I saw you in the garden, I asked my servant who you were. And when I found out you were married, I resolved never to try to see you again, but
Why did you change your mind?
I saw your husband.
August is a very fine, upstanding man.
He told you so himself, eh?
I know, I really think so.
He's an old, garrulous, stupid bore who's overwhelmed with his own importance.
Oh.
Frankly, my curiosity's aroused. Why did a lovely young girl like yourself ever marry him?
Well, I love him.
Oh, madame. Please don't cry, please. If there's one thing that turns my bone to water, it's a beautiful woman's tears. Here,
I'm not crying.
here, use my handkerchief for these non-existent tears, then.
Thank you.
Now, Josephine, smile.
Stop ordering me about. I won't have it.
Please smile at me and say I'm forgiven.
You're forgiven.
Oh, that's better. I promise to be nice. You see, Josephine, believe it or not, I'm very fond of you, against my better judgment. You'd better believe it, because I'll haunt you every day if you don't.
And that's the way it started. Just a talk in a sidewalk cafe. My first friend, perhaps the only friend I had besides Rosalie. At first, Pierre and I thought we were just playing at love. But by the end of the second week, I knew the truth. I loved him. I loved him as deeply and as truly as any woman could. We met in the afternoons in the cafe, and in the evenings when August was out, he stole into the patio and we talked. Talked of him and of me, and then of us. Of our future. Together. It was Tuesday, 2 weeks ago, that he was supposed to arrive at 9 o'clock. Rosalie was helping me dress.
You'd better hurry, madame. He'll be here in half an hour.
How do I look, Rosalie?
Beautiful. I wish I were as beautiful as you. Oh, madame, put this brooch on the front of the dress. It sparkles so.
Yes, I think I will. Rosalie, he's so handsome and so
And
fine.
you really and truly love him?
Really and truly.
But what will you do, madame?
I don't know. If I could only be honest with August, if I could only tell him and break away.
Oh, madame, he'll kill Monsieur Pierre.
Yes, I know, and he'd be well within his rights. I'm so frightened sometimes. So very frightened.
Oh, madame.
Listen, footsteps. That's August outside my room.
What will you do?
I don't know. Perhaps he'll leave before Pierre.
But if he doesn't,
Then you must pretend that Pierre's your friend.
Oh.
Well, look at my lovely wife tonight. Dressed up, aren't you, my dear?
Good evening, August. I always dress in the evenings, you know that.
No, I didn't. I shall hereafter take more advantage of your loveliness.
Flatter me, my lord. I didn't expect you to drop in to see me this evening.
Were you expecting someone else?
Why, how unfair you are, sir.
Unfair? No, I'm, shall we say, more curious than unfair. You may leave, Madame Rosalie.
Madame,
What's the matter with you, girl? Why do you stand there staring like that?
Well, it's the...
Rosalie's expecting a visitor in my patio shortly, August.
A visitor?
Yes.
Rosalie?
Yes.
Well, it's different. A lover, eh? I suppose you'll be getting married soon, eh, girl?
Well, yes. Yes.
More's the pity. Mind if I sit down a little, Josephine?
No, do, my lord.
I suppose you'll be leaving Madame and myself shortly. You should have told me, girl.
Well, I had...
You what?
I didn't think, monsieur.
If you'd told me, I'd have supplied you with a decent dowry. A girl in your position can scarcely afford a trousseau.
It's very kind of you, monsieur, to offer me.
Well, my dear, no matter what, I shall be generous to you and offer your future husband a fair dowry anyway. What say you, Josephine? Is that not generous?
Very generous, my lord.
Ah, yes, it is. My girl, Rosalie, you shall be married in the Marais Chapel at noon Friday.
Friday, monsieur? So soon? 3 days?
Yes, Friday. The girl in love should be delighted at the prospect. Unless you've lied to me.
Lied to you? Oh, never, monsieur, never. I'm delighted. Delighted.
Yes, of course you are. Well, Josephine, you might help the young lady plan her wedding while I'm gone. And make a list of all the necessary items which you'll need.
Yes, my lord.
I shall leave the entire proceedings in your hands. That ought to keep you well occupied.
Yes, my lord. Are you leaving me so soon?
I have to, my dear. You know these Tuesday nights. You know them very well. Good night, Josephine. Give my best to your suitor, Rosalie, and tell him I'll do my best by you.
Oh, madame. Shh. Careful. August can be sly as a fox. Friday, yes, Friday. Rosalie, he's very clever. I don't know how he found out the news. At least he suspects. What will we do, madame? I don't know. There he is. Tell him to come up, Rosalie.
Yes, madame.
Come up, monsieur.
Is old Spiderlegs gone?
Yes. But hurry, monsieur. Hurry.
I climbed to my love's balcony. Oh, darling, darling, darling.
Here. August is clever. He knows.
What? He knows? He told you so himself?
He came in this evening while I was dressing. I was afraid he might stay for the evening, so I told him about you.
You told him?
I said that you and Rosalie were engaged to be married.
Oh, so...
And, monsieur, he insists we get married Friday in the Mary Chapel. He's going to provide my dowry.
You think he suspects you, Josephine?
I know he does. Darling, you must leave at once and never return.
Leave you and Rosalie to the mercies
We'll
of...
lie our way out.
Yes. I'll tell him my lover did not like to be rushed and quit me.
And he'd believe it just like that?
Of course.
Never. Never, Rosalie. No, that's not the answer. That's not even sensible. Darling, sooner or later we'd have to take our chances and run away. Why not now?
Run away? Where? How?
To Spain. He'd never find us in Spain.
I've no passport. I couldn't even leave the country. And as long as I'm in France, he'd find me and drag me back.
We'd find a way to leave the country. Oh, Spain is lovely at this time of year. Beautiful. The trees are heavy with lilac bloom. And you'd like Madrid, Josephine. It's like another world.
Madrid? If only...
If only what? If only you've the courage, we'll leave at once. Pack a few things quickly, and we'll hire a coach to take us to the border.
Tonight. Tonight, Pierre. Tonight.
Now the suitcase is closed, my darling. Where's your coat?
In this closet.
Oh, let's do hurry.
Lovely coat, isn't it?
Everything looks lovely on you.
Listen.
What is it?
My husband's footsteps in the hall.
Mary, I waited for him and he never showed up.
That's a pity, Rosalie, and I had such pleasant wedding plans.
Pierre, quickly hide in the closet. Take my coat and suitcase with you.
Of course.
Here, take it.
Don't be frightened, darling.
Madame hasn't been feeling well, and she lay down, monsieur.
Well, she's probably lonely. I'll cheer her up. Josephine, I'm glad to see you looking well. Rosalie told me you were ill.
I had a bad headache.
What's that?
Nothing. August, I heard nothing.
In your closet. I heard something drop.
What could drop in a closet?
I don't know. You're better acquainted with your wardrobe than I am.
Of course, my lord.
You've so many headaches lately. Come, my dear, you'd best lie down and rest.
Of course, whatever you say, my lord.
You may go, Rosalie.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
I hope I didn't disturb your plans for the evening, but the evening began to pall, so I returned home. Sometimes my friends can prove themselves quite dull. I was thinking of you and your beauty, and I was worried about you.
Worried about me? In what way, August?
Oh, in the last 2 weeks, 2 of my friends have told me that they've seen you walking down the street alone, unchaperoned.
Have they?
Not that I listen to idle chatter, my dear. I don't. You know that.
People talk. They have so little else to do.
Naturally, I understand that. But then, a very close friend of mine was at the Café Grenald a few days ago. He, has told me something that rather puzzled me. You look a little pale, my dear.
My headache.
Naturally, your headache. He said he was sitting in the cafe and he noticed a woman who looks remarkably like you walk in and sit at a corner table.
A woman who looked like me?
She sat for a while all alone. Later, a man, a young man, joined her. He sat by her side. He called her Josephine, your name. Remarkable that a woman who looks like you should have the same name as you.
Yes, it is remarkable. Quite coincidental.
That's what I thought, coincidental. I might even have thought that woman was you if I didn't know better. Know that you're a dutiful wife, my dear.
Of course, August.
For a little while, believe me, I was rather worried. I began to think about the habits and customs of country women. And putting that together with your temporary restlessness lately... Well, for a while, my dear, I thought perhaps in your moments of weakness you had perhaps acquired an admirer.
Please, August.
But naturally you haven't?
No, I haven't.
Then when I walked in your room just now and I saw you looking so nervous, flushed, for a second I thought perhaps your, shall we say, admirer was here in this room with you.
Did you?
It was just a passing thought. Naturally, knowing you've a headache, I realized that the flushed expression comes from that.
Yes, it does.
Then again, when I heard that peculiar clatter in the closet, a strange idea was born. I thought perhaps your friend, the friend you met at the cafe, might be hiding in the closet. You look pale, Josephine.
Do I?
Is someone hiding in the closet?
No.
I naturally will take your word. If someone is in that closet, my dear, I should be forced to protect your honor and do away with it. Would you swear to me now on the Bible that there is no one hiding in the closet?
Please, August, put away that dueling pistol.
Then you are prepared to swear before God on the Holy Bible that no one is hiding in that closet?
Yes, August.
Ring for your maid, my dear.
Why?
I said ring for her.
Yes, my
Now, fetch me your Bible. You have your Bible in the room, my dear, haven't you?
Yes, my lord, it's right here at my bedside.
Put your left hand on it. That's right. And swear on the Holy Bible there is no other man in this room besides myself.
I swear there is no other man in this room besides yourself, my lord.
My mind is much relieved. Much relieved.
You rang for me, madame?
I did, Rosalie. Do you know where Monsieur de Gorenflot lives?
The mason, monsieur?
Yes, the mason, monsieur. I want to write a little note to him, and I want you to deliver it at once. Fetch me paper and a quill, Josephine.
Yes, my lord, I have a quill right here. Here's paper.
Ah, that's just the thing. You've learned to sharpen quills quite well, my love. Dear Monsieur Gorenflot, I am writing to you because...
Yes, that's what happened on that fatal Tuesday night. I perjured my soul, and I've paid for it. How little did I realize how much I had to pay. Rosalie left the room and delivered the note as she was bidden. My lord and I were left alone. He bade me retire to bed as I looked poorly and said that he personally would remain with me until my headache left. I assured him my health was much improved, but he would not have it so. I retired to bed, and he sat by my side until...
Monsieur Mary, Monsieur Gorenflot is here.
Come in, Gorenflot.
I've done as you bid me, monsieur. I've brought the cement and the paving tools.
Good work, Gorenflot. Come, bring them in here.
In here, monsieur? In Madame's room?
Yes, in here.
Why, August? Why?
Rosalie, go to bed, girl, and get a good night's sleep. You don't have to linger around any longer.
Yes, sir.
Monsieur Gorenflot, do you see that closet in the corner?
Yes, my lord.
I wish you to cement it up. The sight of it affects my wife quite strangely.
August!
Please, my dear.
But, August!
You swore to me there was no one in it, my dear beloved wife. And I believe you. Surely there's no harm in sealing up such an offensive, ugly closet. I'll have another one built for you.
But my clothes...
I shall buy you new ones. What are you waiting for, Monsieur Gorenflot?
My lord, at this hour of the night...
You are sure you want me to do this now, monsieur?
Wait till morning, my lord.
I am positive, absolutely positive, my poor Gorenflot. Go to work at once. I will not wait. I am a man of whims. Strange, interesting
Whim. August knew that my lover hid in there. I didn't think he'd have the heart to go through with what he had intended. So at first I just sat quietly by and watched. Gorenflot laid first one row of bricks, and then another, and then a third, and then a fourth. Pierre was afraid by now. He preferred quick, certain death to slow starvation, And he began knocking on the door and calling out.
Please, let me out.
Gorenflot, petrified, stopped, and he said...
Monsieur Marais. Go ahead, Monsieur Gorenflot. There's no one in that closet. My wife has assured me there's no one there.
August!
And I'm within my rights, Monsieur Gorenflot. Proceed at once. Proceed.
As you say, Monsieur Marais.
Please, open. Yes, as he says, he was within his rights to do exactly as he pleased. The 5th row slowly fell in place, and the 6th. And then I knew that August meant to see that night's work finished. The 7th. I cried, I wept, I tore at his coat, I pleaded, I entreated. It was all no use at all. Small beads of perspiration shone on Gorenflot's forehead as he worked, and the rows kept going up, one by one, until morning, when the entire job was done.
Thank you, Monsieur Gorenflot. Here is 2,000 francs for your work and your silence. My wife's good name must not be bantered about in public.
Thank you, monsieur. Thank you.
How can you be such a beast?
Come, my dear. Dry your eyes. The offending closet is sealed up.
August, there's a man inside. There is. How can you deny it?
You're lying to me, Josephine. You swore there wasn't. I must believe an oath taken on a Bible.
Listen, don't you hear him?
Yes, but my ears deceive me.
He's calling out. August, please take my life. But don't let him die in there.
My dear, there's no one in that closet. Remember what you said? Ring for your maid, Josephine.
My maid? But, Rosalie!
I said ring for her, not cry out for her.
Of course I'll ring for her. August, be human. Please be human.
I've been more than human, Josephine. I've been godly. I've accepted your word as absolute truth. Don't come in, Rosalie. I shall see you at the doorway. Stay right out here, my dear. That's right. Instruct the butler and all the servants that Madame and I will remain in her room for at least a month. And our meals are to be served by my private valet.
Yes, monsieur.
And otherwise, we're not to be disturbed by anyone.
Yes, monsieur. For 30 days, 30 nights. For 30 days and 30 nights, I heard that tapping on the wall. His cries, his moans, his words, his pleas, I heard them there. August was stone, completely stone. He didn't care. He just sat and watched me. Watched my face. Enjoyed my terror. Fed me horror, waiting daily for the cries that issued out. August, how can you? How can you be like this? He's there, Pierre is there. He's behind the wall.
My dear, you must be ill.
Listen to him. He's dying there. Each day his strength grows less. And as he dies, I must die too. August, please, in heaven's name, be kind, be merciful. Forgive me, let him go.
There's no one there. I'll call the maid. You'll need her care.
No one there. Listen. The tapping stopped. It stopped. Murder! You pig, you beast, you killed him!
You're ill, my dear. So ill, poor girl. Come in.
Follow me, my lord.
Please call the doctor, Rosalie. My wife is ill. She's going away for a long rest. A very long rest.
So I sit here in this rest home, listening to the feeble tapping inside my head. The same feeble tapping I heard on the closet wall of my bedroom at home. That same feeble tapping. Will it never stop?
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought to you the story of the Niche of Doom. Bellkeeper, toll the bell.
Thanks for watching the Bah Ghoulie Show by OTR Halloween Holidays. This is Waddle the Duck saying check out Channel Watchwaddle for some fun cartoons with no static.